All right. Shalom. Before I start, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakorash. The honors to the elders and apostles, Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations. All like Akim wa Akwath. Learning and teaching in truth and sincerity. Another video through the Spirit. All right. In this one, going to be kicking off this series that I've been meaning to get to, dealing with the Zondervan. Basically, and this little book is like a dive into the ancient world, a dive into the East. They're giving you pictures of, things over there in the land and breaking things down. Now, obviously, certain things they go off on, and, through the Spirit power, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, with the teaching from our elders and apostles, we know, when something's on point, when something's off. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to just gather, a couple things, 3, 4, 5 different things, and do series on them, just basically random facts, but linking it all up. There's always, this is one of the things we go to a lot for the Ham definition. We go to a lot for the Hellenist definition, but there's plenty more going on in here. So I'm going to jump around. We'll get some facts. All right, we'll take a look. All right. Hey, I'm going to have the orchestra music in the back. So, all right. So this is, Zondervan Bible Dictionary. Now, I'm going to start actually first with the word calendar, right? So you look right here. I got some of it highlighted. We're going to be starting right there. You look at the word calendar. It says, during the Bible period, time was reckoned solely on astronomical observations. Days, months, and years were determined by the sun and moon. All right, y'all. Hey, close the book. First couple words right there. Our months were determined. So let me focus it. I'm playing. I was being silly, but our months are determined on what? The moon, literally. All right. So that shuts down the Gregorian calendar, and that shuts down the continuous Friday, Saturday, Sabbath, because the months always change. All right. So let's keep going. It says days of the week were not named by the Jews, but were just designated by ordinal numbers. So day 1, day 2, day 3, so on. It says the J day began in the evening with the appearance of the first stars. All right, in which we've learned that from the apostles. So the day doesn't start at 12 a.m., a 12:00 on the clock. The day starts at when, y'all? Sunset. That's when a new day has started, because all the sunlight has gone down, right? And that's why the high holy days, when do they kick off? At sunset. When does the Sabbath kick off? At sunset, right? Otherwise known here, they called it with the appearance of first stars. It says days were subdivided into hours and watches. So you would have people specially designated who would watch to calculate time. Obviously, because they weren't running around with watches and clocks back then, like how we have them now. It says the Hebrews divided nights into 3 watches. They give a list of scriptures. It says the 7-day week is of Semitic origin. Egyptians had a week of 10 days. The J week had its own origin in the creation account and ran consecutively, irrespective of lunar or solar cycles. This was done. Okay, so dealing with let me point to it. The difference between our the 7-day week is of biblical origin. All right, so still, even to today's time, a person claiming to be atheist, well, stop living by the 7-day week. If God doesn't exist, why do we have a 7-day week? They showed they said, well, the Egyptians had a 10-day week, which is bug the fuck out. Imagine working 9 days straight for Esau, Edom. You drop the fuck dead. Must come down some more right here. Okay, perfect. They were starting to talk some mumbo here, so I'm coming down to highlight it. It says the Hebrew month began with the new moon. All right, as we've been properly taught by our apostles. You use the new moon to track the month, which simultaneously, which is why our like the Passover, you read in the scriptures, the 14th day of the first month, all right, and it goes into going into the 15th day. And when does it fall on? It falls on the Sabbath, all right. Reading down a little bit more, Salakia, give it a second to focus. There we go. It says before the exile, months were designated by numbers. After the exile, names adopted from the Babylonians were used. So right here, and he gives some of the names. So we used to use numbers. We didn't start using names until, as it just said, we went into captivity. All right. And I just want to get one more part right here. It says the sacred year was instituted by Moses and consisted of lunar months of 29 and a half days each, which adds up, which is why, y'all, for those that are in the know, what happens like every 3 months, we'll have what we call a double Sabbath. The fact that when you have a Sabbath happening back to back, actually particularly this week, because tomorrow night you have Tuesday, Wednesday, and then this new moon, it's a double Sabbath, Wednesday, Thursday. Actually, so how about that? Why? Because of 29 and a half days. That half day doubles up on you after a couple months. So let's go to this real quick. We're in the book of Sirach. Let's go to Sirach 43, and I got my phone right here for research purposes. Right here, perfect. Yep. So to back up everything we just read there, and like I said, little neat little facts like that, it just makes it all nice and pretty for you, easy to understand. Right here, Sirach 43 and 5. Great is the Lord that made it, and at his commandment runneth hastily. He made the moon also to serve in her season, for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. From the moon is a sign of feast, a light that decreaseth in her perfection, which is why the new moon institutes a new month, because the less you can see it, the closer it is to a new moon, the beginning of the next month starting. Verse 8, the month is called after her name, increasing wonderfully in her changing, being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven. So right there, the Sabbath and time is based off of the cycle of the moon, not the Gregorian calendar. All right, Israelites who don't want to accept that, they're simply spiritually lazy. All right, and we know the scripture in Colossians, it tells you what, not to judge the man in the Sabbath day. Hey, well, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is going to judge. So, okay, Jay, y'all keep running around, keep doing that. The Lord is going to get that together for you. All right, so let's go to the next one. Let's look at, there's all kinds of stuff in here. Usually, I'll go through this throughout the week, really at a random. And I'll find stuff and I'll highlight it. And now, okay, this is good. I'll deal with this, right? Because you had vocab. He tried to say the Kenizzites were Edomites, and it doesn't say that. That's not the truth. He tried to say that. He tries to say that Caleb is an Edomite because it tells you he's the son of Kenaz. Well, it never says that Kenaz was a Edomite. We know that he's a Judite. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been called for the tribe of Judah. All right, it says Kenizzite. It says a patronymic name derived from Kenaz, one of the 10 tribes of Canaan in the days of Abram. And there's several Kenazes. It says no one knows who was the Kenaz from whom these Kenizzites were descended, and the tribe disappears from history with his mention. So basically, they're telling you they don't know the exact origins of the Kenaz, of the father of Joshua. All right, despite there being several men being Kenaz, but we know that obviously along the line he would have been a descendant of Judah. Otherwise, matter of fact, Caleb wouldn't have been called to stand up for Judah. Let's do Caleb. So that shuts down vocab. Neat little things in here. All right. He says, "Oh, Kenaz was a Edomite." They just told you they don't know. All right. Salakia. Caleb was the son of Jephthah. Salakia, y'all. Salakia. Let me type in. But he did try to say that. I'm getting it mixed up. Did he say Joshua? Let me see. Fucking son of a bitch. Yeah, he tries to, okay, when you type in Kenaz, you see the name, oh shoot, pop up in several places. You see it in the book of Joshua. All right, it says, an Othniel, the son of Kenaz, the brother of Caleb, took it, and he gave him Akash, his daughter, to wife. So, this is an Israelite man, all right, a Judite. Caleb was a Judite. Now, it also mentions a man, Kenaz, in Genesis 36 and 15. It says, these were the dukes of the sons of Esau, the sons of Eliphaz, the firstborn son of Esau, Duke Teman, Duke Omar, Duke Zepho, Duke Kenaz. So there was a Kenaz among Edom. And then, let me see what else we got. Judges, 1 Corinthians, Chronicles. Okay, and then you come back here. At the top part says one of the 10 tribes of Canaan in the days of Abram. So you had several Kenazes. All right. So the the Kenaz in relation to Caleb wasn't an Edomite. All right. Caleb was a Judite. All right. So don't, a little bastard like that to try to swindle on you and get you mixed up and confused. But hey, he can't. The Lord has given us all the tools to shut BS down. All right, we're gonna look at something else right here. Palestine, right there. Real quick, give me a second, y'all. Give me 1 second. Salakia. Salakia. Let me pause it real quick. Salakia. Yeah, so just double backing real quick. When you look them up, and Salakia, Caleb was the brother of Kenaz. But it just tells you right here, says the name of an Edomite and of 2 Israelites. So boom, they weren't the same man. The Kenaz in Genesis 36 is not in relation to Kenaz here mentioned around Caleb. And hey, our little dictionary, our little Zondervan, the Zondi. I'm trying to think of what I'm gonna title this. Maybe dive into Zondervan, DIZ, episode 1 or whatever. Help me out, right? But little tools like that cuts away the confusion that a scoffer come with whenever this focuses. There we go. Look at the word Palestine. It says the name is derived from Philistia, an area along the South Sea coast occupied by the Philistines. Philistines were what? Hamites. It says original name was Canaan. After the conquest, it came to be known as Israel. And in the Greco-Roman period, Judea. Okay, so right there, Palestine is another name for our land, and it lets you know that it went through some changes. And originally, the Philistines were there, and the name derives from Philistia. And what is it going to go on to say about its conditions today? It says, before the conquest, the land was inhabited by Canaanites, Amorites, Hittites, Horites, and Amalekites. These were conquered by Joshua. Judges and Kings. The kingdom was split in 931 BC. The northern kingdom was taken into captivity by the Assyrians in 722 BC. The southern kingdom by the Babylonians in 587 BC. From 587 BC to the time of the Maccabees, the land was under foreign rule by Babylonians, Persians, Alexander the Great, the Greek, Egyptians, and Syrians. All right. So for some time now, we've had heathen in that land. All right. So specifically, you see, mentions Babylonians, and I'm going to assume they're referring to the Assyrians. The Neo Babylon was ran by the Assyrians. Persians, which is they changed their name to Iran, and that they're Elam today, or biblically. They call themselves Iranians today, but biblically they're Elamites. Says Alexander the Great. Says Egyptians and Syrians. Says in 63 BC, the Maccabees lost control of the land to the Romans, who held it until the time of Mohammed. And that's where it left off. So what does that mean? That means the Ishmaelites, are up in there. So the 2 factions of people that are there are not of, they're not Israelite origin. The Amalekites that are there, and the followers of Muhammad that ran up in there, who are what? The Ishmaelites, the Arabs. Okay. Hey, y'all, I told you, got little dime pieces in there. And these are things that they don't want you to forget about. And so what this cuts both of those people. Because you talk to obviously the Amalekites in there, they believe they're bugged out BS. But the Palestinians that are there, they're sincerely deceived. Oh, we've been in this land. This is our... No, we just read how y'all got up in there. Y'all got up in there after we got displaced. Right? So, hey, but what do the scriptures say concerning that? The fact that heathen would be holding that land down until the Lord brings us back there. Let's go to Luke right quick. Get a couple more facts. I told y'all, hey, some good little tidbits in here. Luke, what is that? 21. 21. Pull it up. Where we at? Okay. Luke 21 and 24. It says, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword. The day is referring to Israel. And shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. So right there, our land is being held down by heathen. They're in possession of the land. We've been kicked out for a very long time. Okay, so let's keep it moving. Let's go to, let's see what we get. What I'll start doing in the future is setting up, I'll take note of in my phone the ones I want to go to, so I have a whole order and a whole settlement of basically I'll have them down precisely, the ones that I want to go over. But this is we doing this on the fly, so we getting it together. All right, let's look at this one. This is Samaria. Focus, come on, focus. God damn it, come on. There we go. It says Samaria. It says another name for the northern kingdom of Israel, founded when the 10 tribes refused to acknowledge Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, as their king. It extended from Bethel to Dan. All right, so this is another term for northern kingdom. All right, and it's biblically proven. This is why you'll read in the scriptures, you'll see the word Samaria, and it can be referring to the northern kingdom. All right, but what happens after the northern kingdom got displaced? The heathens that began to live there became known as what? Samaritans. Okay, so there's a difference. And now obviously there are certain Samaritans that are actually Israelites, but you get it, the fact that Samaria was another name for northern kingdom. So now when you read in the scripture certain times, it can better help you to understand certain parables. All right. Let me double back. So like it says, it extended from Bethel to Dan, and from the Mediterranean to Syria. Come on. I gotta get a book holder. It says from the Mediterranean to Syria and Ammon, important cities: Shechem, Samaria, Sychar, Shiloh, Bethel, capital of northern kingdom, built by Omri, 5.5 miles northwest of Shechem. All right, so right there, it's letting you know Samaria is another name for northern kingdom. So just something to, obviously, brothers, hey, if you've been around for a minute, you should know that. But you can, for those who don't know, now you know, Ninja. Let's see. Hey, something real quick. As I was going to my destination, you look at this term right here, Lemuel. When you read in Proverbs, right, it says devoted to God. It says a king otherwise unknown, to whom his mother taught the maxims and proverbs. And it goes from Proverbs 31, 2-9, probably Solomon, in which it was, because there is no King Lemuel ever mentioned in the lineage nowhere. So who is this parabolically? It was Solomon. So Solomon was relaying. That's why you go to Proverbs. Let's go there. 31. Jump here. It says the words of King Lemuel, the prophecy that his mother taught him. All right. So in this chapter, is letting you know whole host of things. Give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish. Don't give your heart over to these hoes. All the good stuff. The type of what a virtuous woman actually looks like, right? But that Lemuel is Solomon. All right, so if you've ever read that, you was like, well, who the fuck was King Lemuel? Well, King Lemuel was Solomon. It was a term. It was a parabolic. Let me do. I was looking at that word idumia. Yeah, motherfuckers. Let me go to. Okay, here we. Oh no, that's not it. I'm gonna end it on this next one. Actually, let me go. Some of y'all will like this. Some of y'all gonna like this. Let's see. This is a. Damn, where's that word at? Salaki, y'all. Active study session. What do we got right here? We have the word. Come on. Concubine. There we go. A concubine says a woman lawfully united in marriage to a man in a relation inferior to that of the regular wife. Okay, so are Israelite men allowed to have concubines? Yes, and concubine is an inferior wife, which is what one of these heathens, right? A non-Israelite woman. She's serving, she cleaning. What is a prime example of that? Abraham, Sarah, and Hagar. Hagar was a concubine. She was not of the same genus as Abraham. Therefore, she had inferior and rights that are less than, which is why Sarah got her ass up out the house. And it was all for prophecy's sake. All right. So Gen 16:1 mentions Judges 8:31, 2 Samuel 3:7 says the law of Moses allowed it, and it gives the quote of Exodus 21:7-11. All right, in Deuteronomy 21:10-14, a number of prominent old figures had concubines: Abraham, Jacob, Gideon, David, Solomon, Rehoboam. All right, so right there, so that's the nail in the coffin with that argument. All right, the law of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai allows it. Now, right now, are we running around trying to play, fucking Mac Daddy? All right, no, all right, or at least in the sense of trying to have 10 wives, 400 kids. No, all right, we're in captivity. It's not feasible and it's not convenient for man and Lord for profit, because your life is supposed to be consumed with prophecy. Nevertheless, when we get back into the kingdom, that's going to be a natural part of our lifestyle, whether you scoffers like it or not. All right, you all going to be forced to accept it soon anyway. All right, so that's it for this episode, y'all. Hey, I'm going to come back with some more and give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai B'Hashem Rakakodash, the waters, the elders, and apostles, great millstone. Peace, blessings, salutations, all like to Akim Wa Akwath, learning, teaching, truth, and sincerity. Shalom.